I don't know about you, probably quite similar to you. Like, I try and do outdoorsy stuff more these days. For the job I do, I'm in the office or working from home, and you just glued to the laptop, and you just want to be outside and stuff. But there's like all kinds of creatures that I've got no idea. They look really cool. You want to touch them, you want to get close, but if that thing stings you, you could probably die. So I think a video like this is probably going to be quite useful to not just me, but you as well.
Imagine a sting so intense it feels like a bullet tearing through your flesh, or so excruciating that it can stop your heart in minutes. From the deepest jungles to the ocean's depths, these creatures don't mess around when it comes to delivering pain. These are 5 of the worst stings in the animal kingdom.
Let's go.
Starting with the bullet ant. This is one of the most infamous insects on the planet, a jungle-dwelling ant that delivers pain like nothing else. The bullet ant is a giant rainforest ant that can be found in the humid lowland forests of Central and South America, especially in the Amazon basin. It lives in giant colonies at the base of trees and also forages high up into the canopy by climbing up those trees. These guys can grow up to 1.5 inches long, making them one of the largest ant species in the world.
Wow, 1.5 inches. That's not an ant. That ain't an ant anymore. Oh my God, 1 inch and... Ugh. Oh, that's creepy.
World. Their main defense is their insane sting. It delivers a venom called toxin from their stinger, which targets nerve cells and forces them to just keep firing. That's why it is such a searing, intense pain, which literally feels like you've been shot by a bullet, hence its namesake. It's known to be one of the most painful insect stings on the entire planet. People have described it as being so painful that it's like walking on hot coals with a nail in your heel.
Oh my
Why would an
gosh.
animal develop a sting that terrible? Well, in the wild, they use the sting to defend themselves from larger predators like anteaters, monkeys, even birds. And in some tribal cultures, people are so strong that they've even used this pain in a coming-of-age ritual. How
What?
insane is that? But what sucks about their bite is that there is no
Oh my God, are his hands gonna get bit all over? Hell no.
venom. You just have to sit there and endure the pain. While the bullet ant might bring excruciating pain on land, the next creature does it underwater and can possibly kill you in under 5 minutes. The box jellyfish. The box jellyfish is one of the most dangerous marine animals on Earth. It's found in the coastal waters of northern Australia, Papua New Guinea, and parts of Southeast Asia. Fully grown, adults have a bell that measures up to 15 inches across and tentacles that can reach up to 15 feet long. These tentacles have microscopic stinging cells called nematocysts, which inject venom into the prey or basically anything or anyone that brush up against it. These will basically fire microscopic venom-loaded harpoons into your skin. The venom then attacks the heart, skin, and the nervous system simultaneously. They use this to hunt for small fish and shrimp, but it also works on larger animals like humans. In fact, when we were boating around Papua New Guinea a few years ago looking for epaulet sharks, we got to one spot at night and I was with the guys and I was like, Mike, Johnny, gear up. We're gonna dive in, we're gonna search sharks here. We're about to hop in, it's a night dive, it's probably like 8:30 at night. I pop on my light, JQ is just about to step off the boat and I'm like, whoa, stop. He's like, what? And I look down and there's maybe a 6-foot long box jellyfish just pulsating
6 feet long. Oh my God. I didn't know they get that big.
right underneath the boat. And then I yell up to the captain, I'm like, hey, can you turn all the lights on? He turns the lights on and we're in a field of box jellyfish. There had to be 500 in the area. It happened to be some kind of weird current tidal congregation of box jellyfish. And I honestly think if JQ had made that step or anyone else had, they would have been so engulfed, so wrapped up in those tentacles with the amount of jellies around. And we were so far from medical help that it could have been fatal. What would have happened if he stepped into it? Well, in addition to causing immediate pain, you get bulging whip-like welts, intense burning, you start vomiting, and extreme cases, you can actually get cardiac arrest and die in just 5 minutes if left untreated, which is basically what would have happened to us. So whether or not you survive comes down to the immediate first aid. Luckily, that first aid is oftentimes pretty easy to get because vinegar is most often used to deactivate the stinging cells as quickly as possible. You just don't want to get in the water or be stung by or get stuck by these box jellyfish. If you think that that's marine pain at its worst, well, guess what happens when you step.
That is insane. You can die from getting stung by a jellyfish. That's the first I've heard of that. I knew that it hurt, but I didn't know you could die off it.
Step on a fish that doesn't just have tentacles, but 13 venom-injecting spines. Yep, you guessed it. It's none other than the stonefish, one of the most venomous fish in the entire world. These guys live in shallow coastal waters of the Indo-Pacific region, tons around Australia, Indonesia, the Philippines. They're really globally widespread. Stonefish can bury themselves in the sand, the mud, on the reef, and camouflage perfectly to look like a piece of that reef, rock, coral, anything. They typically only...
Oh my God, I would have never seen that if there wasn't an arrow here. Like, it looks just like the surrounding areas. That is wild, isn't it?
grow to about 16 inches long and are thick-bodied with rough, warty skin. The danger comes from those 13 dorsal spines, each equipped with venom glands at the base. And when threatened, they raise these spines, injecting venom through ducts within the spines. This venom is a crazy potent mix of enzymes and proteins, which, if you happen to step on one, injects venom directly into your foot, your hand, whatever touches it. It causes immediate and excruciating intense pain, swelling, tissue death, and sometimes, like the jellyfish, heart failure. It's literally been described as the worst pain on the planet and is strong enough to kill oceanic predators like stingrays and even species of shark. If a human gets jabbed, you're in for a rough day. Seeking urgent medical attention is vital, as some stings from various species have been known, if not treated, to be fatal. Now, what's crazy about this is, unlike some of the other animals we mentioned, there are so many different species of stonefish, and various stings have various potency, various sizes of the fish have differing potency, various species have different potency, and then, like a bee sting, everybody reacts differently to it. So if you happen to have an allergic reaction to the stonefish venom, it's lights out unless you're treated almost immediately.
Jeez.
All right, so check it out. We're out here on the Trinity River looking for real river monsters, and Brenton is struggling to cut through this carp. Hey, so Brenton, check this out. This is the new Leatherman fixed blade.
Very slick.
Now, you hear about all these different animals, and it sounds like they're from all these remote and exotic corners of the world where nothing like this is ever going to happen to me. Well, the next one, believe it or not, is an animal that I know multiple people have been stung by right here in California. The tarantula hawk wasp is pure
Look, I've never seen a wasp that looks like that. Like, usually the wasps I've seen have been like yellow or brown.
nightmare fuel. It's found basically across the globe, except for in Europe and Antarctica. They're particularly common in the Americas, specifically the southwestern United States and the central US, where they feed on tarantulas, hence the name. They use their vicious sting to paralyze the spider, and the females will lay a single egg on the still living tarantula, which becomes food for the wasp larva as it slowly eats it from the inside out.
Sorry. That's disgusting, isn't it? Oh my God.
To make things worse, these wasps are big. They grow up to 4 inches long with bright orange wings and iridescent blue and black bodies. But the sting is what made them famous. The venom isn't really deadly to humans, but the pain is rated among the most intense of any insects, and it's been rated at a level 4 and ranks second overall on the Schmidt Sting Pain Index. For context, this scale was put together by entomologist Justin Schmidt that ranks the relative pain caused by insect stings. It ranges from 1 to 4, with 4 representing the most intensely painful stings. And if he rated it a 4, you can imagine how bad that must be, and see what a sting does. But back to the animal. In the wild, the sting is enough to deter most predators, including birds, lizards, and even mammals like coyotes. But for us, the sting is known for its immediate, excruciating, and debilitating pain. According to a single researcher, the pain is so intense that it can make it difficult to do anything but scream and drop to the ground. In the moment, a sting from something like that is completely overwhelming, and it definitely earns its reputation as one of the worst stings on the planet. The next animal may surprise you, because while it's not a more
Yeah, to be fair, I have heard wasps, the sting of a wasp is brutal. I've heard it's really painful.
commonly considered one of the worst stinging animals on the planet, everyone I know that's been stung by one, and there are several, say it is the worst pain they have ever experienced. Now, I know what you're thinking. These are all in some far-off land across the planet, nothing I would ever have to worry about. Not our next creature, because this is the California harvester ant.
Ooh.
The California harvester ant might not
Another ant. Wow, the ants are really punching above their weight in this video.
look like much, but underestimate it and you are going to regret it. Native to most of the southwest and northern US, these ants thrive in arid deserts and scrublands where their large colonies build underground nests. However, it's their insanely painful sting that really does put them on the map. And make no mistake, their sting delivers a specialized venom that's packed with peptides that target sodium channels in your nerve cells, which eventually throw your nervous system into complete chaos. This can result in an intense burning, throbbing pain that can last for hours. To make things worse, harvester ants often leave their barbed stinger lodged in the wound, which drags out the pain for even longer.
Ooh,
Entomologist
like having a splinter in there. Oh man, that'd be so uncomfortable.
Justin Schmidt, who we talked about earlier in the Schmidt Index, famously described the sting as, quote, after 8 unrelenting hours of drilling into that ingrown toenail, you find the drill wedged into your toe.
Oh.
And if he said that, well, you better believe it's exactly as bad as it sounds. But here's where it gets even crazier. The Chumash Indians, people native to California, used to intentionally endure the sting as part of a coming-of-age ritual similar to the bullet ant we talked about earlier. So how did they do this? Boys would actually swallow these ants alive, letting them sting the inside of their mouths and
Hell no. Absolutely not.
throats. Okay, so you do that once and it sounds absolutely awful. Nope, around 250 ants were considered a, quote, effective dose.
Forget it. Forget about it.
And the resulting venom was so painful and so intense that it induced hallucinations that were seen as visions. I like doing these kind of opinionated videos that mix science with opinion. Let me know if you like them.
Awesome video. Wow. I would not have thought that 2 ants would feature on this list. That first ant, the one he said is 1.5 inches long, seeing one of those in real life would be scary as hell for me because I'm used to, an ant being like a tiny little thing that might be, 2 or 3 millimeters in length. 1.5 inches, an ant that big is scary. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.